Hello ladies, gentlemen, and ties that I cannot tie. I am Chains. Welcome to the Chains Project. Today's reading is Genesis chapter 14, verse 1 to 16. Lot's captivity and rescue. It's full of a whole bunch of people's names that I'm going to say so wrong that you're going to hit yourself in the head with a spoon. In the days of King Ampril of Shinar, King Arach of Elazar, King Shadolamar of Elam, and King Tidal of Goyim, these kings made war with King Bera of Sodom, King Bersha of Gomorrah, King Shinabab of Amara, King Semember of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is, Zorah. All these joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is, the Dead Sea. For 12 years they had served Shadolamar, but in the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Shadolamar and the kings who were with him came and subdued Rapam. In Ashtakoth Karaham, and Zuzim in Ham, Be-Emeh in Sheva Karakatham, and the Horites in the hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran, on the edge of the wilderness. Then they turned back and came to En-Mishpeh, that is, Kadesh, and subdued all the country of the Amalekites and also the Amorites who lived in the Hazon Tamar. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is, Zorah, went out and they joined battle in the valley of Siddim, with King Shadolamar of Elam, King Tidal of Goyim, King Ampril of Shinar, and King Arach of Elazar, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of bitumen pits, and as the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some fell into them, and the rest fled to the hill country. So the enemy took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their provisions, and went their way. They also took Lot, the son of Abram's brother, who lived in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. Then one who had escaped came and told Abram the Hebrew, who was living by the oaks of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and of Aner. These were allies of Abram. When Abram heard that his nephew had been taken captive, he led forth his trained men, born in his house, 318 of them, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. He divided his forces by night, he and his servants, and routed them and pursued them to Haba, north of Damascus. Then he brought back all the goods, and also brought back his nephew Lot and his goods, and the women and the people. So there's all these kings on the same team, and there's all these other kings on another team. They don't really like each other very much. They've been, agreeing with the king of the kings, who was, Shadolamar. Saying that wrong, you bet I am. They got all pissed off with them, but then, Shadolamar's team was just kicking butt, and they were stealing a whole bunch of land and poking people in the eye. And then the king of Sodom and Gomorrah, they were like, we're gonna fight you in a tar pit, and you're gonna get your face owned. And then they decided to run away because they realized they had foam swords, and the real king had real swords which are pointy, and when you have foam swords, not very effective. So then King of Sodom and Gomorrah fell into tar pits, and some other people did too, and they ran away again. And then somebody ran all the way back to Abram and was like, Abram, dude, they stole your nephew and everybody's stuff, and we would like it back because we have to play a Halo tournament and we can't do that without our Xbox. So then Abram's like, alright, I'm being total badass. You 318 slaves I got, you're coming with me, we're gonna go kick somebody's butt. We'll attack them at night and we'll divide our forces so they think there's more of us than there really is, and we'll, beat the crap out of them and then steal all their stuff and get back Lot because, yeah, I kinda have to take care of him because he's an idiot, first of all. And also, we'll take all their women and people. And so what does Abram do? He goes there, divides his forces by night, kicks their butt, takes Lot back, his goods, all the goods of everybody's goods so they can play Halo, the hot chicks, and the other people, who might not include other women who are not as hot, but it's very key to get the hot chicks. That's how the Vikings did it, and they're awesome. So the first thing I wanted to look at was, is there real evidence of this war actually happening? There's no evidence that shows that this exact war happened. There wasn't one called the war where Abram decides to go be a total awesome person and kill people. We can't really tell, but there's a lot of evidence in the Middle East of wars and stuff happening, so that doesn't disprove it, but I couldn't find an exact archaeologic find that proved this happened. I'd imagine that'd be very hard unless you knew how Abram swung a sword and you could find a bone with a chip out of it that corresponded to Abram's unique sword swinging abilities. A very key role in this whole thing is the Valley of Siddim, aka the Dead Sea. It's still there today, by the way, and it says that it's full of bitumen, and we've talked about bitumen before a while ago. It's a picture of some ugly black stuff, and yeah, it's some ugly black stuff. It's pretty much just tar and asphalt and other stuff that we use to walk on nowadays, and it is totally full of that. The Greeks called it the lake of asphalt, so I mean, obviously it's a big lake full of icky stuff that you get on your shoe and it won't come off. And we've also found Neolithic skulls there and a whole bunch of other archaeological stuff. What's Neolithic stuff? That's the new Stone Age. This is also the very first use of the word Hebrew, and it means one who is from beyond. That's pretty much Abram. He's not from the land of Canaan, he's from a whole bunch of other places. And then he came to Canaan, and also he went on a vacation to Egypt, so he's from way beyond. I mean, he probably could work at Bed Bath & Beyond very easily. So what's the moral of this story? Pretty much, don't kidnap Lot, and Abram won't come and kill you. That's the gist of it. I'm kidding, of course. The actual moral of the story is to fight for the right reasons. King Shadolamar and his buddies were probably just fighting for, to get goods and stuff. They didn't have a real reason. At least it's not said. Maybe one of the other kings called his wife fat, and, That's just a total call for war. Or maybe somebody shot Archduke Franz Ferdinand again, and that, escalated a whole let's fight each other kind of thing. Some of the explanations that I saw was that Chedorlaomer, the king of all the other kings and stuff, was kind of in charge and everybody had to pay taxes, and maybe it was a whole, Boston Tea Party thing. He was taxing us way too much without representation, whatever that cliched saying means. And then people got pissed off and went to war against him. And Abram was sitting back and sipping some nice lemonade, not really caring about what the other kings are all pissed off about, even though Abram's not really a king, he just owns a lot of slaves for some reason. And then somebody comes along and is like, yo, Abram, they stole your nephew, man. And Abram's like, what? That was my favorite nephew. I've got like 12, but that's my favorite one. And then he's going to take his 318 slaves. They go there in the dead of night, and he separates his forces. That normally makes it seem like there's more people, more places that you're getting attacked from my understanding of terrible, terrible, dumb warfare. So they obviously, either tricked or just scared the crap out of the people while they're trying to sleep and stabbed them all in the eye with their toothpicks and then took all their stuff and came back, and everybody was like, yay, we get stuff. That's awesome. So fight for the right reasons. Don't do it for a stupid reason. Abram wasn't really going in there to steal all their stuff. He went back to get the stuff that was taken. That's pretty much what it is. Don't fight for stupid reasons. Fight for the reasons where if somebody steals your stuff, you should go get it back. But of course, in today's day and age, don't go get it back yourself, because then there's other stuff that'll have a call to police. Very simple. Abram is the police. Don't mess with him, yo. That is it for this episode of The Chains Project. Thank you very much for watching. I love you guys. And remember, as always, to like the video or leave your comments, questions, concerns, or cannolis down in the comment section below, or send me an email. And I was working on an outro, but I gotta get back to figuring out how to put this tie on properly. I even bought a book for it. It says how to tie a tie. Perfect, right? Yeah. That's the best tie you've ever seen tied. Damn.